What's going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here. We are in Warframe, and we are going to do some basic stuff today. Okay, this is for newer players. I was asked by somebody about this if I could do something, and so we're going to try to take a more casual look instead of a you must do it this, and this, because that's just not going to work. It doesn't work for me. I like to just have things explained to me real easy, if you will. And again, if you have any comments, if you have something that you want to have addressed as a newer player, please let me know. I will gladly try to take it up and put something together. I am happy to do so. And that's why we also do the new player experiences along with all the other stuff that I do, just to kind of keep in mind of everybody. So what we're going to talk about in this one is components. And we're going to talk about Forma, Orokin catalysts, and Orokin reactors. That's what we're going to cover in this and what these three items are. Okay. Now, these three items are in the marketplace, as you can see under equipment, but you can only purchase them with platinum. Okay, so you can't just purchase a blueprint like you can. As you can see there, the Orokin cell. You can't purchase a blueprint of this. You have to just purchase that out. So if you don't have platinum, there are other ways to get these items. So first, the easiest way, or the only way really, to get a catalyst or a reactor is going to be through alerts. Okay, alerts for them will generally come up usually after like a dev stream, a live stream, a big community event. Something like that is when we'll see that type of alert pop up. And catalyst and or reactor alerts generally last for 24 hours, are lower level missions, so generally everybody can get a hold of them. Sometimes we'll see them in tactical alerts, but that's a whole other thing to talk about some other time. Also, Forma can drop inside of alerts from time to time as a reward. As you can see right here on the screen, we have a Valkyr helmet blueprint that is going to end in 27 minutes, but that is a reward for doing an alert mission. Alert missions tend to be higher level, they tend to do different things, so forth and so on. Okay, Forma can also be picked up in the voids as rewards in the voids, and people will tell you that sometimes you get much more Forma than what you really want. Okay, now, in regards to reactors and catalysts and Forma, sometimes you will get them in the form of a blueprint. Generally from the alerts, generally from the void missions that you run, you'll get them as a blueprint and you need to craft them. So here we have a reactor. I can craft this reactor and that will take care of me getting a reactor. Okay, same thing with the Forma, same thing with catalyst. You can also get them as login rewards on occasion. Now let's get to the nitty gritty. Try to explain this to you. Okay, so first off, let's talk Orokin reactors. Orokin reactors are going to go on three types of things in your arsenal loadout here. So obviously, we're going to start. Reactors can go onto your Warframe. Reactors will go onto any type of your companions, so whether it be sentinels, crew bros, future stuff, cat bros, whatever comes out of those, they can go on there. Also, they go on your arc wing. Okay, so in your arc wing, they would go on here. Okay, in your actual arc wing itself. Now, catalysts, on the other hand, will go on all your weapons. So primary, secondary, melee weapons would receive a catalyst. As well, if we come back to Arcwing, our weapons here, our primary and our melee weapon, would also receive catalysts as a way to enhance the frames or the weapons, if you will. So, let's talk about this real quickly here then. Now, starting with reactors. Okay, here I've already got a reactor in my Warframe because you can see my capacity is 60 of 60, which means I am at max rank 30 in my Excalibur, and I have 60 points. Okay, and that is because under the action screen I have a Orokin reactor installed. As you can see, I've also got this over here. This is going to be for your Forma. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute, but your reactor is installed, thereby doubling my capacity. Generally, without a reactor or a catalyst, you will only have 30 points to work with. If you instead put a catalyst or a reactor in, you will have 60 base points to work with. Okay, you can grow these base points even higher by having a aura, an aura that matches the aura slot, and or in this case I have no specific aura slot, so I can put anything on there. I can take an energy siphon Now I have 67 points, so that gives me an extra 7 points because it's in an aura slot. But we'll talk about that a little bit more because you're going to ask me about how did I have those extra points. So that's just there, just as an FYI. Okay, so now if we can do that again on Warframes, Companions, Arcwings. Now if we're looking at a weapon, okay, it's going to be the same thing. Now you can see I've got a Lato that's rank 30, and it's only got 30 points on it. It does not have a catalyst. Okay, I can hit the upgrade button. It will ask me if I want to install a catalyst. I'd say yes, and what it'll do is it'll remove the mods, and it will automatically give me 60 points to work with. And to show you what I mean, we'll just come back over here to equip, and I'll put on the Lato Vandal, and I will show you here. So now I equipped, or I added a Orokin catalyst, okay, and it doubled my point capacity, my build capacity to 60. Real simple, okay? So now I got 60 points that I can work with. Okay, and again, that's going to happen on your weapons, all your weapons, and your Arcwing weapons. Now, then we talk about things like Forma, and what I want to do here, actually, you know what? No, I've already got my Brat and Prime set up, so we're going to talk about Forma. So let's just quickly come over here, and you can see I've got 5 Forma on my Brat and Prime, and that is marked by the stars that are at the top of the screen. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and that is also going to be marked by these slots that are in green here or red, but these are just specialty slots. Let's see if I come over here now, you can see it. Okay, so these slots here will indicate that they've been forma'd. All right, I can do more Forma if I like by simply hitting the Forma button, and I will choose what type of slot that I want to put in for a Forma. Okay, so that will also give me capacity in terms of points. Alright, so let's just do that. Let's go. As you can see, I've got a lot of V slots. Okay, I've got 60 points over there on the right hand side. And this is kind of weird. Now you can use tons of Forma and never use a catalyst or a reactor, and just use Forma to make it happen. But remember, you're only limited by the amount of slots that you have. So in this case, this is primary weapon. We have Serration. Now Serration, you can see here, is 14 points. Okay, but if I put it into a Forma'd slot, it becomes 7 points. So now on the left hand side, I went from 60 to 53. I've only used half of the point total from my Forma'd slot. If, however, I take this Serration and put it in a non-Forma'd slot, a slot that does not have a special, we'll call it a preset, okay, now I've got 46 points left. So you can see, by adding this in, I'm taking half of the point total, and I'm allowing myself to have a much higher capacity for building in mods. And that's what formatting a weapon does. So again, that's what we've got here. So I've got 5 Forma in here. Whether or not the build is going to suit you, don't worry about that. I've talked about this in many builds before, but right here you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, some weapons will have no Forma, like this one had no Forma, so I had to put 5 Forma into it. Actually, no, this one did come with a Forma slot. I had to redo a slot because I screwed up. Shh, shh, you didn't hear that part. But that's basically how you do it. Okay, you basically, every time you add a specific type of slot, as you can see here, we've got your Madurai slot, your Vezarine slot, and your Naramon slot. Okay, different slots do different things, different types of mods, which we'll talk about some other time. Okay, and those being formatted reduces the point total in half, giving me more to work with. So there's no way I could run this with just 60 points. Obviously, I would run out of points real quick because non-format slots would take away exact total of the mod instead of halving it. So with that said, hopefully that gives you some ideas on how we do, or what the basics of Orokin Catalyst, Orokin Reactors, and Forma are. They basically are used to give you extra points and capacity, or half the point capacity, to allow you to put more into a weapon, or a frame, or a companion, or an Arcwing. Comments, questions below. Hopefully it was informative. And I'll catch you guys in future episodes. Thanks for watching as always. We'll see you soon.